What is up, guys? It's Bruin Steel here, your host, and I am joined with Canadian Yorker, and this is going to be our recap for WWE. My last video, I mentioned that I'm going to do WWE recap for Monday Night Raw and Friday Night Smackdown. This is going to be my recap for the Friday Night Smackdown from this past August 25th, and I am joined with Canadian Yorker. That's great that I got someone with me. So, how are you doing today?
Doing awesome today. How about yourself?
Good, good. We have a lot to go to, but I don't really think we're gonna it's gonna be a long video because there wasn't really a lot going on Friday Night SmackDown. If you guys don't know, Friday Night SmackDown was cut short because end of an era. The passing of Terry Funk and the all-time great. Well, I don't know, but I loved Bray Wyatt, but the passing of Bray Wyatt, who's been a superstar for a really long time. Obviously, you know him of his the Fiend, his character of the Fiend, which is really this really creepy guy with a mask. He had a couple segments with Alexa Bliss in the Playhouse. He's done a great job in the company. I enjoyed watching Bray Wyatt. It's rumors saying that he passed away because of health issues, but because of the passing of Terry Funk, who was an absolute legend. I grew up watching him as well. Back in the day, Dusty Rhodes, Cody Rhodes' father. Dusty Rhodes had a great rivalry with Terry Funk back in the day. So Friday Night SmackDown, this past Friday Night SmackDown was cut short with a tribute. So starting off the show, all the wrestlers in the backstage came out, honored Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk with the 10 ring bell thing to do honor Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk. So that's what opened up the show. Jey Uso was supposed to have a promo, but they decided to cut him and replace him with the tribute. So yeah, to start off the show, but before I get into the show, I want to share your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts about Bray Wyatt. Obviously, Canadian Yorker, you're not really a WWE fan. First off, you already know who Bray Wyatt is, right?
Yes, I'm aware of Bray Wyatt. I'm familiar with him. Well, first of all, I just want to say that it's sad to see a passing of a young person as young as him, a wrestler as young as him. He died so young. He was only 36 years old when he died, and I am, I'm not too far away from him. I'm only a few years younger than he is, and it's sad to see and hear that he died so young from health complications. Um, but that's the world we live in. Um, I remember hearing about 20, I think it was 15, 20 years ago, Umaga, who died. Also, and there's also Eddie Guerrero, who also died. There's two wrestlers that I know of from my
And
time.
also Chris Benoit.
Yes, well,
Well, he committed
Chris
suicide. He killed
Benoit,
his wife and
you
kids and
know,
committed himself.
yeah, but that's the about Chris Benoit. As a wrestler, Chris Benoit was a great wrestler, a legend. He's a legend, legendary wrestler, and a great wrestler in his own right. But off the wrestling mat and outside, what he did outside of WWE is, of course, unacceptable and obviously messed up. When you talk about Chris Benoit, that's like another topic to discuss.
But yeah, right now
I
it's
don't
all
know how I feel
about
about Chris Benoit, but
right now it's all about Bray Wyatt. That evening,
yeah,
Michael Cole introduced the 10 bell salute for both Wyatt and the great Terry Funk. Terry Funk was awesome. Obviously, growing up, I didn't know who he is. I didn't really get into wrestling, but I was more of a Hulk Hogan fan growing up, but I heard of Terry Funk and the rivalry he had with Cody Rhodes' father, Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes was an absolute legend. He's also a legend that died. Also was saluted with the 10 bell salute. Share my favorite moments of Bray Wyatt. Probably the segments that he did with Alexa Bliss were hilarious. Alexa Bliss doing the whole, gimmick with Bray was really fun to watch. I by far saw the Elimination Chamber when he won the WWE Champion. John Cena was the champion going into that Elimination Chamber match, and Bray Wyatt ended up winning the match. Probably the biggest win of his career. That was a great moment. And probably Bray Wyatt feuding with. I feel like, probably the worst match of the Bray Wyatt I've seen was probably against John Cena. It wasn't actually a match. It was like a memory match. It was like at WrestleMania. I don't remember. The last man standing match that he had with John Cena was probably another favorite moment. John Cena won, but it was a great match. And a lot of the wrestlers stood back, joining the 10 bell salute for Bray Wyatt, also for Terry Funk. Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman joined it. You already know if you don't know, but those two were part of the Wyatt family. So you had Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, and Eric Rowan, the Wyatt family, with the whole lamb mask and everything. So it would hurt to see a picture of them holding hands together and sobbing over a chair, because that was their gimmick with Bray Wyatt, also known as the Wyatt family. But pretty much it was just a tribute. Like I said, they cut off a couple promos that were supposed to happen. Like Jimmy Uso was supposed to return this past Friday, but he didn't because of the whole Bray Wyatt thing. So do you have any memories of Bray Wyatt? I don't know if you watched any match of his. Like I said, I think it. Go ahead.
I remember when the Wyatt family and Bray Wyatt, when I believe when they first came into WWE, I remember watching a few episodes of the WWE with them. I know that the Wyatt family was around in the time when the Shield was around. That's when Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and what's his last name? The last member of the Shield, I forget his name at the moment.
Dean Ambrose.
They were all together.
Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, so Dean Ambrose. All of them were in the Shield, and they were feuding with the Wyatt family. I remember those matches. Those were pretty good matches, and we basically had two heels going against each other, which was kind of an interesting angle that WWE was playing with. But I remember the Wyatt family, and they were feuding with Shield, and it was very interesting to kind of look at from that perspective. But I know obviously after that, Bray Wyatt had his. I never saw Bray Wyatt when he was with his fun Playhouse and Alexa Bliss. But I do remember Bray Wyatt with the.
I'll make sure you send some clips for you. They're hilarious and weird, but it was hilarious. So the gimmick that Bray Wyatt did with Alexa Bliss, because that's when the Fiend and Alexa Bliss turned into she got a demon inside her body, and then she had that whole Lily gimmick. But moving on. So there was I believe there was only 3 matches aired on Friday night. So let's just go on and talk about the first one. So the first one was a non-title match between Rey Mysterio, who happened to be the United States champion. Many people are like, oh, finally he beat Austin Theory, and he faced off against Grayson Waller. So how this match came about is last week, Grayson Waller had both Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar on the Grayson Waller Effect show, and basically Grayson Waller talked shit and said that Rey Mysterio, it was supposed to be, the original was supposed to be Santos Escobar facing Austin Theory for the title, but because Austin Theory attacked Santos Escobar in the leg, Adam Pearce no, you're not getting out of this easy series. You're going to defend that title and against Rey Mysterio. So last week, Grayson Waller said that Rey Mysterio stole Santos Escobar's title spot, and it's like, you're gonna backstab him. That's the thing. People think Santos is actually gonna backstab Rey. Maybe this week maybe at the next pay-per-view at Payback. So we have to see what happens. So that's how this match Payback, because Rey Mysterio had enough of the running the mouth of Grayson Waller, so they faced off in the non-title match. Austin Theory and Santos Escobar did get involved in this match. So basically they had a great match, and at the end it was Rey Mysterio getting the 619 and the splash with the win. So it was a back and forth. You saw highlights of this match. So obviously I think it was a great match. I just don't like how matches always get interference and stuff like that. Get people interfering and stuff like that, kind of like Roman style. But you seen highlights. I hope you did tonight. But so yeah, what do you think of this win over Rey Mysterio's win over Grayson Waller in this non-title match?
To be honest with you, did not get a chance to take a look at the footage of the match. But the kind of angle that Santos Escobar, Rey Mysterio was able to get put into Santos Escobar's spot, because Santos Escobar was not able to fill that role. And you never know that maybe Santos Escobar could be feeling a certain way about, he's happy for Rey's success, and he helped Rey out with fighting against the Judgment Day. However, after all that success that Rey has had to overcome those obstacles, Santos Escobar we don't know if Santos Escobar may or may not be feeling a certain way about things. I think he's probably happy for the success that Rey has had, and it's really helped the Latino world order. However, hopefully maybe we'll see the continued success of this era of the Latino world order. Maybe, I think it's something that could be drawn out a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So a couple of things that happened, not matches, but so it was announced that Rey Mysterio is going to defend the United States title against Austin Theory at Payback on September 2nd. So that's going to be a great matchup. Cody Rhodes is not going to have a match at Payback, so it's also announced that Grayson Waller will host Cody Rhodes on his Grayson Waller Effect show, so that's going to be interesting to see. And alright, it's going to be the WWE Women's Championship match. Obviously, you know that IYO Sky cashed in her Money in the Bank contract to become the champion. So she cashed in on Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and Asuka. So Bianca Belair did win the triple threat match, but IYO Sky did come out. Everyone knew it was coming, and she cashed in the Money in the Bank contract after the triple threat match. So this is going to be her first title defense since then. So yeah, she defended the title against LWO's women's superstar Zelina Vega. So I thought it was a pretty good match. But at the end, IYO Sky retains, defeating Vega by pinfall. So it was a moonsault finisher from the top of the ring and splashed on for the 3 count. So what do you think of this matchup?
Yes, I was saying that the IYO Sky did a great job in defending her title against Zelina Vega. I found it ironic that IYO Sky would cash in her match, when she gets to win the women's WWE Championship and she did it against an injured Bianca Belair. And Bianca Belair had fought and clawed her way back just to win that title again back from Asuka, and who beat her in the previous match. So as Bianca did work hard for that, and then IYO Sky capitalized onto her taking her chance. So now IYO is doing her title defenses against her challengers, and he obviously wants to retain it and keep them in control at the top of the list. And so far, they're doing a good job. I thought that they actually tried to, if you remember, the last time they went to WWE Raw event, I think they fought in a women's tag team title match, but they lost the women's tag team title match, and I think another tag team won. It was Ronda Rousey and her partner
Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler, they won. So for IYO to win, a singles match is an accomplishment, and hopefully we get to see more of her, winning her title defenses.
Yeah, so I also want to mention that I wasn't really a big fan of Damage Control, and right now they have grown on me. I feel like people are starting to like them. I always liked Bayley. Ever since she started her NXT days, moving forward, I always loved Bayley. I always thought she was great in the ring. IYO Sky, I don't think I mentioned. I think it was IYO Sky and Dakota Sky. I think they were all like NXT, used to be NXT, so I probably wasn't too familiar. But IYO Sky should have probably she should hold on to the title for a while. But yeah. All right, so moving on. Like I said, we're gonna get through everything. Moving on, Cody Rhodes came out to pay respect to WWE Hall of Famer Terry Funk. So basically what I said at the beginning of the video, that Cody Rhodes' father, Dusty Rhodes, had a great rivalry with Terry Funk. So that makes sense that Cody Rhodes is the one to pay tribute to Terry Funk. So, Cody's talking about how Terry Funk met his father and how the rivalry started in WB and stuff like that. And that led to, the introduce one of his father's, Dusty's, greatest foes with the respect. The saying that, both Terry Funk and Dusty Rhodes were both cowboys. So that was a segment leading to the next match, which was a Terry Funk hardcore tag team match between the Brawling Brutes and the Street Profits. So obviously the Street Profits, they turned heel, aligning Bobby Lashley. So Bobby Lashley did come out late in this match. There was a hardcore, so there was tables being smashed and stuff like that. So, but at the end, one of the Brawling Brutes got smashed into the table. The Street Profits gets the 1-2-3, winning the match. The Street Profits defeating the Brawling Brutes by pinfall in this unbelievable hardcore match. So, what do you think of this match, Canadian Yorker?
I believe it's a great win for Street Profits, because Street Profits, as far I believe they tried to win a match against before the Usos when they were tag team champions, but they lost to the Usos. And for them to team up with Bobby Lashley is another great pickup for them, because they are really working hard to push themselves to the next level, and Bobby Lashley will definitely help them to get to that next level, as well as the fact that Bobby Lashley I think he's been out for some time. Am I correct?
Bobby Lashley was, but he came back and allied himself with the Street Profits. So the Street Profits turned heel, joined Bobby Lashley. So they're a faction right now. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
Yeah, so that's an interesting take because now you have another faction that's out there that, just like the Judgment Day and the Bloodline, they have these new factions coming about, and of course these guys are going to want to be the best and go after the best.
All right, it got delayed a little bit. I don't know if you finished. But yeah, okay, that's great. So yeah, moving on. Obviously, like I said, there wasn't really a lot of matches and stuff. So this was the main event. LA Knight kicking off the. Obviously, you already know LA Knight was feuding with Bray Wyatt earlier this year. So that's interesting. Which made sense for LA Knight to be the one to make a tribute and a salute to Wyatt. He claimed that Wyatt was the one that made him get ready for the position of battling. So he he doesn't call Bray Wyatt his fan, saying that Bray Wyatt was the one that helped him to get ready for the obstacles that he's facing right now. And the main event was LA Knight versus Finn Balor. Finn Balor showed up on Friday Night SmackDown to face LA Knight. I don't think there's a reason why this happened. I think it's just a random match. But also his tribute led to a shout out to The Miz. So The Miz and the LA Knight's been going at it. So that's another match for Payback. LA Knight's going to go 1-on-1 with The Miz. And in this match between the LA Knight and Finn Balor, it was back and forth. But eventually at the end, it was LA Knight who got the better of Finn Balor, defeating him by pitfall. So it was, let me see, he was, So it was by pitfall, it was by finisher. So yeah, LA Knight defeated Balor in the main event. So what do you think of this promo by LA Knight and the match that he won against Finn Balor?
I think it's another pickup win for LA Knight because he's really been on a roll, and he's being pitched as a great face for the WWE, not a heel. So I did watch his promo about Bray Wyatt, and he definitely showed his respects to the Wyatt family, and LA Knight really knew Bray Wyatt really well, so they really had a great feud going forward, and he was the best guy to kind of explain, Bray Wyatt pushed him to his limits. And as for Finn Balor's match against LA Knight, it was a weird match, but LA Knight was able to put out a win against Finn Balor. And you know how tricky Finn Balor can be to play against, but LA Knight is able to get the win. Respect that.
All right, so we got.
There's no interference by the Judgment Day. That's it.
So yeah, it was a short Smackdown. That would do it. Thank you guys for watching. But before I end the video, I do want to mention that a couple matches were announced for Raw. Or next week, or I think it's on Raw. Yes. I already know that Michael Cole announced that it's gonna be Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar teaming up against Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. So that's gonna be an unbelievable match. People are saying that Grayson Waller has a little Austin Theory in him, so we'll see what that happens, But anyways, tragedy about Bray Wyatt. Obviously we might just have to see Jimmy Uso until next week. Obviously it's a shame. It hurts WWE fans. I expected Bray Wyatt to make another return. He went AWOL after his feud with LA Knight, and then he had an unbelievable return at Extreme Rules this year. So his return at Extreme Rules was unbelievable. And I never heard of Bray Wyatt having the health issues that he was dealing with. So it just came in a shock. So yeah, it was all about honoring Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. So any last second thoughts on the show or anything like that?
For the last,
Or maybe any thoughts on any on the thoughts of the payback matches that were announced. We got obviously it's not a match, but Grayson Waller is gonna have Cody Rhodes on this show. A match that's announced with LA Knight versus The Miz. Obviously, those two have a grudge against each other, and it was announced that Austin Theory was gonna face Rey Mysterio for the U.S. title. So I believe that's it. And if you guys want to know, I already talked about the other matches that happened for the Raw. So
yeah. The upcoming matches at Payback is going to be a really exciting thing to see with all the changes that are going to be going forward with these matches. So I can't wait to see how things are going to turn out, and I'm definitely going to talk about more about it later after the matches. But it's going to be an interesting environment that to be going into a film.
alright, so that will do it for SmackDown. Obviously, you guys give my condolence to Bray Wyatt's family and the WWE Universe on this loss. It was horrible. But anyways, that's our recap for SmackDown on August 25th. I hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast. Like I said, Canadian Yorkers had joined me tonight, so thankful for joining. Monday Night Raw is tomorrow, so hopefully he'll be back for Monday Night Raw. Maybe Tuesday and Wednesday we'll be doing the recap broadcast, so hopefully he's around. If not, I'm probably going to solo, so either way, I'm going to see you guys after the Monday night show, Tuesday and Wednesday to do the broadcast, so I'll see you guys then. Anything else?
No, I don't have anything else to say.
Alright, we're signing off. See you guys later. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in.